What's happening, guys? BJ here, coming at you for another video. Today's video is I'm gonna show you how you can build muscle. Okay, none of this like jargon, nonsense, nonsensical style tips either. This is the no BS way to build muscle. But first I want to give you a bit of an overview. So how do you build muscle? Well, what you need to understand is the GAS, okay? It's a General Adaptation Syndrome. We have three different steps, okay? We have the alarm phase, the resistance phase, and the exhaustion phase. Now, one of the most important principles that you need to understand is specificity. Specificity basically means that the type of exercises that you do are going to lead to the different types of strength outputs, okay? So for example, if you're a powerlifter and you're doing heaps of bench press, squats, deadlifts, overhead presses, and that's your primary key mover, you're gonna get stronger in that type of movement. Makes sense, right? There's a thing called SAID principle, okay? So specific adaptation, imposed demand, okay? So basically the type of exercises that you do are going to be indicative of the type of results that you get, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna outline 4 things for you that are gonna help you build muscle. Let's do it. All right, tip number 1 is periodization. Now, what is periodization? For every athlete that undergoes a sports development program, basically they have micro, macro, and meso. For every athlete who undergoes some form of a sports development program, they get periodized programs. So they have their pre-season, their mid-season, and then their post-season. And all of the type of training that they do specifically for the chosen sport that they're doing, they have periods where they focus heavily just on strength, periods that they focus on cardiovascular, periods they focus on flexibility and mobility. And it's really important that you get a well-rounded body, because if you don't have every energy system or health system in place, it's gonna cause massive disarray with you and your results, okay? So periodization, well, there's many different types of periodizations you can have. So there's daily undulating, or DUP. There's the 5x5 strength lift, strong lift. But the one that I like to use mostly is a 3-phase program. First you do 6 reps, then you do 10 to 12 reps, and then on the 3rd week you do 3 to 5 reps. Okay, what this does is if you're going through a plateau, it actually causes, I guess, a little bit of muscle confusion. And often the way of getting out of a plateau is doing what they call cluster sets, okay? The second tip that I have for you in order for you to build muscle is to focus on the eccentric phase of the lift. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, we have concentric and eccentric. Okay, basically concentric is when you shorten the muscle belly, but you generate force. Eccentric is the opposite. It's where you lengthen the muscle belly whilst generating force. The evidence is there which supports eccentric phase lifting, which creates most mechanical tension and micro traumas to the muscle, which will elicit the most muscle protein synthesis growth. The third point is to make sure that you identify your 1 rep max. Basically what this means is your 100% intensity of strength that you can perform with 1 repetition. This is a really good reference point to go off, because then we can reverse engineer that and find out maybe 80%, 70%, 60%, and we can start to program and periodize according to that information. Now, the last tip, tip number 4, is proprioception modification. So basically, proprioception is just a fancy way of saying being aware of your body in space. If you were to close your eyes right now and balance on 1 foot, you would more likely lose your balance. You would most likely lose your balance, and that's a given. Basically, what we need to understand is we have sensory information coming into us at all times, right? So what I mean by proprioception modification means, so for an example would mean that if you're doing a squat, instead of just doing your standard squat where you go down into a concentric into an eccentric, you could do like squat pulses, or you could do partial squats, or you could do Bulgarian split squats. The same goes for if you are doing a chest press. You could do both at the same time, or you could do one arm repetition, or you could do a thoracic rotation. You know, there's so many different alterations that you can make that will help you build strength. So guys, that's it for my 4 tips that will help you build muscle. If you guys like this video, make sure you show me some love, click a like, share it with anyone who you think would get some value from it. I drop a video every week, but as always guys, be a better version of yourselves and peace out.